In this video, I'll give you 3 proven ways to keep your kids in the faith. I myself have 2 children. The oldest one is 2. So perhaps you're wondering, why am I qualified to answer this question? And it's because I have spent the past 5 years of my life working in a Catholic high school, working with good Catholic parents who are raising kids who stay in the faith. I've seen dozens of them. And I've spent that time working closely with many priests as well, and I've taken some knowledge from them. So these 3 pieces of advice I'm going to give you come from my own experience with kids, my own kids, as well as kids that I work with in high school and middle school. Comes from parents who are far wiser than I am, and these are the things that they've told me. And it comes from priests who have had a ton of experience in the exact same thing. So point number 1, if you want to keep your kids Catholic, what you have to do is let them see you rejoice in the faith. Let them see how much joy and happiness Christmas brings you. And for the right reasons too, not just because you got the present you wanted or whatever. But let them see how happy you are that Christ our Savior is born. If it's St. Joseph's Day, make a big deal out of it. Come home and bring cake with you and ice cream and celebrate. Celebrate the good things. Take joy in the good and beautiful and true things in our Catholic faith, and let your kids see that. They need to see you pray, yes. They need to see you say no to things that might be fun because of your religion, let's say. They need to see you do all these things and live out your faith. But they need to see you rejoice in the good things about your faith. They have to have that, because kids are naturally drawn towards pleasure. And so you have to lead with the carrot and the stick. If you just have the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not have any fun. Okay, what kid is actually going to stick to that religion? There's probably some, just very obedient, people-pleasing kind of kids. But most kids are going to say, okay, if this religion thing is just telling me what I can't do, telling me the fun that I can't have, I want nothing to do with it. So you have to show your kids how to have fun as Catholics and how to celebrate as Catholics. You should throw better Christmas parties than anyone else in your neighborhood, right? You should have so much fun during the Christmas season and during the Easter season that everybody wants to be like you anyway, your kids included, and it should come naturally. And that's probably one of the most powerful ways on this list to really keep your kids in the faith. Let them see how much joy Jesus Christ brings you, and they're going to want to do the same. Point number 2 is, do not let your kids hang out with just anyone. You are the primary educator of your child. As a parent, you're the primary educator of your child. You can send your kid to a Catholic school. Hopefully you send them to a good Catholic school if you decide to do that. But don't assume, well, I sent my kids to Catholic school, I did my job, and the school let me down, and that's why my kids fell away from the church. Baloney. Baloney. You're the primary educator of your child. It's your job to get your child to heaven. And if you want to use a Catholic school as a means to do that, that's fine. But it's your job to get them there. And it's your job to make sure that that Catholic school you put your kids in is doing what they're supposed to. So make sure you're picking your kids' friends carefully. You're screening for them. And there's ways you can encourage this without being draconian and just laying down the law with your kids. Make friends with families that have kids about the same age as yours and just have the family over and go hang out by the pool or go out and do something, maybe go out to an amusement park with them or something like that. But try to create memories and situations where those kids can bond, and hopefully your son or daughter will start making friendships with good Catholic men and women or children. That's what you need, because we all need community. Nobody does it alone. Everybody wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and everybody wants to be around people who are like themselves. So if you can massage the situation a little bit and you can help your child to make good Catholic friends, that's going to make your job as a parent so much easier, so much easier. One of the reasons that the school that I taught at, 100% of the students I've ever taught have stayed in the faith, to the best of my knowledge. I'm unaware of a single one that's fallen away from the faith. But the reason for that is the parents are on board, and the parents send their kids to a school where 99% of the students are Catholic, and the teachers are Catholic, and the principal is Catholic. Everybody's Catholic. And so there's this community that the kids can just be a part of, and they can just fit their faith right into this living organism that's already there. That's a huge part of it. If you're the only one practicing the Catholic faith in a public school system or something like that, maybe you become incredibly strong in your faith and you become incredibly used to having to defend your faith and what you do to other people. Maybe. That's not what happened with me, though. I went to a public school and, yeah, I became just trying to fit in and doing all these stupid things that other people were doing. Not stupid people, but definitely doing stupid things. So don't be fooled. Make sure your kids have good friends to associate with, really good friends. And don't assume, oh, I'm paying $8,000 a year to send my kid to a Catholic school. Don't assume that that's just going to take care of everything. It's your job to figure it out. And if you want to employ a Catholic school as a means for that, then so be it. But do your homework and make sure that the Catholic school is living up to what they're supposed to be doing. And number 3, this may be the most important part on the list, is bring your children to good liturgies. That's going to help them to realize that the faith is important. Think about it. If you're a little kid and it's Sunday Mass and dad puts on a jacket and a tie and puts on nice shoes, and the little kids wear nice clothes and everybody's dressed up, and you go to a Mass and you see all of your friends there, and all of your friends are dressed nicely and all of your friends are taking it seriously, and there's incense and there's beautiful chant and there's all these things going on. As a little kid, even though you may not understand a word of the chant, and you may not understand why the priest is swinging around this little thing that smoke comes out of, and you may not understand why the altar boys are wearing the things that they're wearing. You may not understand any of that, but you're going to understand this thing that we're doing on Sundays is different than what we're doing every other day of the week. Something here is different, and it's important, and I need to take it as important. When I see my dad kneel down to pray, I see something's happening there, something important. And this is one of the reasons that music is so important in the liturgy. Most kids are too short to see what's going on the altar whenever you go to a Mass. That's just a fact. The way that children, young children, experience the liturgy, in my opinion, is primarily through music. So you need to make sure that you're going to a liturgy that takes music seriously, because 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, they're going to be able to experience the music, and they're going to be able to pick up, okay, is this a silly song? Is this a serious song? What is this? They'll be able to pick up the genre of the music, even though they may not fully understand the content. And it's going to train them from an early age that what we're doing on Sundays is important and it's different. Daddy wears a tie to Mass. That's different because Daddy, me, hates wearing ties, right? And it's going to help them to see that on Sundays, we worship God. Sundays are for the Lord. One exciting announcement I want to make before I close this off is I am starting an online community for men who want to pray the rosary daily. If that's something you're interested in, check out the link in the description.